Every single day, thousands of people receive a cancer diagnosis. It's a word no one ever wants to hear, but for those over 60, it becomes an even bigger concern. In fact, studies show that nearly 60% of all cancer cases occur in people within this age group. This means that for many of us, our risk isn't just theoretical. It's something we need to pay close attention to. But here's something important to remember. Cancer doesn't always have to be a life-threatening diagnosis. The sooner it's found, the more options there are, and the better the chances of successful treatment. Some of the most serious forms of cancer can actually be caught in their earliest stages, long before they become life-altering. The key is knowing what to look for and acting early. That's exactly why this video is so important. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 most common cancers affecting people over 60 and, more importantly, the early warning signs that could make all the difference. We'll go over what to watch for, simple steps to take, and how just a little awareness can help protect your health, or even save your life. And this isn't just for you. This information could be just as important for your spouse, your best friend, your siblings, or even your grown children who want to make sure you stay healthy for years to come. Knowing what's normal, what's not, and when to seek medical advice is something that benefits all of us. But before we begin, I want to emphasize one thing. This is not meant to scare you. Cancer is serious, yes, but feeling overwhelmed or anxious doesn't help. Instead, think of this as your opportunity to take control. Because the truth is, early detection is one of the most powerful tools we have. When cancer is caught early, treatment is often easier, less aggressive, and far more successful. In fact, many early-stage cancers have survival rates above 90%. So today, as we go through these 5 common cancers, I want you to listen carefully and think about your own body, your own health, and even the health of those you love. Because awareness is the first step toward prevention. And here's something else, stay with us until the end, because we'll be sharing a crucial bonus tip that applies to all cancers. It's a simple step that can help you lower your overall risk and improve your well-being in ways you might not expect. Now, before we get started, I have one small request. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, I encourage you to do so now. Just click that button below and turn on notifications, so you never miss an important update about your health. We're always here to share essential tips to help you stay informed, stay strong, and make the most of life after 60. Alright, let's begin. The first cancer on our list is one that often starts with symptoms many people ignore. Cancer number 1. Colorectal cancer, the silent threat. Colorectal cancer is a critical health concern, often progressing silently until it reaches an advanced stage. This makes it the first cancer we need to talk about. This type of cancer starts in the colon or rectum, and while it develops slowly, it can be deadly if left untreated. As we age, the risk of colorectal cancer increases significantly. Our bodies undergo natural changes, and the cells lining the digestive tract have been working hard for decades. Over time, abnormal growths, called polyps, can form inside the colon or rectum. While most polyps are harmless, some can turn cancerous if they're not detected early. But age isn't the only factor. Diet and lifestyle also play a big role. A diet low in fiber and high in processed foods can contribute to an unhealthy colon. Lack of physical activity, excessive alcohol consumption, and smoking also raise the risk. And if someone in your immediate family has had colorectal cancer, your chances of developing it are even higher. The real danger is that many people don't notice symptoms until the disease is in a more advanced stage. However, there are warning signs, subtle changes in your body that shouldn't be ignored. One of the most common early signs is blood in the stool. It might be bright red, or it could be darker and harder to detect. If you ever notice this, it's essential to talk to a doctor. Another key symptom is unexplained weight loss. If the pounds are dropping without any changes in diet or exercise, something could be going on internally. Chronic constipation or diarrhea can also be warning signs, especially if they persist for weeks. Some people experience ongoing stomach discomfort, like cramps or bloating, that won't go away. Let's take Bob, for example. Bob is a retired teacher, a grandfather, and an overall healthy guy. He's always been active, but over the past few months, he's noticed some changes. He's had occasional stomach pain, nothing unbearable, just something he chalked up to aging. Then, he started feeling more tired than usual. He figured it was just part of getting older. When he finally mentioned it to his doctor, they recommended a colonoscopy. That simple screening revealed polyps, some of which had already started turning cancerous. If Bob had waited any longer, his options would have been much more limited. But because he caught it early, his doctors were able to remove the growths before they spread. This is why regular screenings are critical. For most people, doctors recommend a colonoscopy starting at age 50, and then every 10 years if results are normal. But if you have a family history of colorectal cancer, you may need screenings even earlier. Some newer tests, like stool sample screenings, can also help detect issues before they become serious. Beyond screenings, maintaining colon health is something we can all focus on. A diet rich in fiber, from foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, helps keep digestion running smoothly. Hydration is equally important, as water aids in digestion and prevents constipation. And, of course, regular exercise helps keep everything moving through the digestive tract as it should. Making small, daily changes can significantly lower the risk. Swapping out processed foods for whole, natural options, drinking more water, and simply staying active all add up over time. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Cancer number 2. Lung cancer, more than just a smoker's disease. Lung cancer is one of the most commonly diagnosed cancers in older adults, but there's a common misconception that only smokers are at risk. While smoking is the leading cause, it's not the only one. Many people who have never touched a cigarette still develop lung cancer, often due to factors they've never considered. As we age, our lungs naturally become more vulnerable. Decades of exposure to environmental toxins, air pollution, secondhand smoke, and even radon, a radioactive gas found in some homes, can lead to cellular changes in the lungs. These changes can eventually develop into cancer, sometimes without any clear warning signs until the disease has progressed. Lung cancer is especially dangerous because it often goes unnoticed in its early stages. Many symptoms can be mistaken for normal aging or minor respiratory issues. But there are key warning signs that should never be ignored. A chronic cough that doesn't go away is one of the most common symptoms. If you've had a persistent cough for more than 8 weeks, it's worth getting checked. Shortness of breath can also be a signal. If climbing the stairs or walking short distances leaves you winded when it never used to, your lungs might not be functioning as they should. Chest pain that worsens with deep breathing, coughing, or laughing can also be an indicator. Other symptoms include hoarseness, frequent lung infections, and unexplained weight loss. Take Mary, for example. Mary spent her career as a librarian, helping generations of children develop a love for reading. She never smoked a day in her life, so lung cancer was the last thing on her mind. When she developed a mild cough, she assumed it was allergies or a lingering cold. Even when the cough persisted for months, she didn't think much of it. It wasn't until she started feeling short of breath just from walking around the library that she decided to see a doctor. A simple scan revealed the truth. Lung cancer had been growing silently for months. If Mary had sought medical advice earlier, her treatment options would have been much better. This is why awareness is so important. If you have any of these symptoms, don't ignore them. A low-dose CT scan is one of the most effective tools for detecting lung cancer early. It's especially recommended for people over 50 with a history of smoking, but even non-smokers with persistent symptoms should talk to their doctor about screening options. Beyond screening, prevention plays a crucial role. Avoiding secondhand smoke is just as important as not smoking yourself. If you live in an area with high air pollution, using an air purifier indoors and wearing a mask on particularly bad air quality days can help reduce exposure. If you haven't had your home tested for radon, now is the time. This invisible gas is a leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. Cancer number 3, breast cancer, not just a lump. Breast cancer is often thought of as a younger woman's disease, but the truth is, the risk increases significantly with age. Why? Because the longer we live, the more our cells have been exposed to estrogen, a hormone that can fuel certain types of breast cancer. After menopause, hormonal changes can also make breast tissue more susceptible to abnormalities. Many people believe that finding a lump is the only warning sign of breast cancer, but that's not always the case. While lumps are a common symptom, other subtle changes can indicate trouble long before a noticeable mass forms. That's why it's so important to be aware of all the early warning signs. One key sign is a change in breast shape or size. If one breast suddenly looks different from the other, or if there's an unusual swelling, it could be an early indicator. Changes in skin texture, such as dimpling, puckering, or redness, are also warning signs. Some women notice an inverted nipple or unexpected discharge that isn't related to breastfeeding. It's easy to dismiss these changes as harmless, but they shouldn't be ignored. Susan, a grandmother of 5, is a perfect example. She was always diligent about her health, never missing her annual physicals. One day, while getting dressed, she noticed a small dimple near the side of her breast. It wasn't painful, and there was no lump, so she assumed it was just part of aging. But when she mentioned it to her doctor during her next checkup, they scheduled a mammogram. That small dimple turned out to be an early sign of breast cancer. Because it was caught in time, Susan was able to receive treatment before it spread, and today, she's cancer-free. This is why regular screenings are non-negotiable. Women over 50 should get a mammogram every year or as recommended by their doctor. These screenings can detect cancer long before symptoms appear, increasing the chances of successful treatment. In addition to mammograms, self-exams can be an extra layer of awareness. Performing a self-exam once a month helps you become familiar with how your breasts normally look and feel, making it easier to notice any changes. The best time to do this is a few days after your menstrual cycle, but for postmenopausal women, picking a consistent date each month works just as well. While we can't control all risk factors, lifestyle choices can play a role in prevention. A diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats, such as those found in nuts and fish, can help support overall breast health. Maintaining a healthy weight and staying physically active also lowers the risk. Cancer number 4. Prostate cancer, the silent cancer in men. Prostate cancer is one of the most common cancers in men over 60, yet it often goes unnoticed until it reaches a more advanced stage. That's because in its early stages, it typically doesn't cause pain or obvious symptoms. This silent nature is what makes it so dangerous, and why awareness and regular checkups are essential. As men age, the prostate gland naturally enlarges. While this is a normal part of aging, it can sometimes lead to abnormal cell growth, increasing the risk of cancer. Genetics also play a role. If a father or brother has had prostate cancer, the chances of developing it are significantly higher. But lifestyle factors, such as diet and physical activity, can also influence risk. One of the first warning signs is frequent urination, especially at night. Waking up multiple times to use the bathroom might seem like just another part of aging, but it can be an early indicator of prostate issues. A weak urine flow or difficulty starting and stopping urination are also signs to watch for. Some men experience discomfort or a burning sensation while urinating, and in more advanced cases, blood in the urine or semen may appear. Jim, an active 65-year-old, had always been in good health. He enjoyed golfing with his friends, went on long walks with his wife, and never thought much about doctor visits. When he started waking up several times a night to use the bathroom, he assumed it was just part of getting older. Months passed, and the symptoms gradually worsened, but he still didn't see a doctor. By the time he finally went in for a checkup, his prostate cancer had already progressed to a later stage. If he had taken action earlier, a simple PSA blood test could have detected it when treatment was much easier and more effective. Regular PSA tests are one of the best tools for early detection. This simple blood test measures prostate-specific antigen levels, which can indicate potential issues before symptoms even appear. Most doctors recommend men over 50 get tested annually, and for those with a family history of prostate cancer, screening should begin even earlier. Diet also plays a role in prostate health. Studies suggest that foods rich in antioxidants, such as tomatoes, green tea, and cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, may help lower the risk. Maintaining a healthy weight and staying active can also reduce the likelihood of developing aggressive prostate cancer. The good news is that when detected early, prostate cancer has a survival rate of over 90%. This makes routine screenings and awareness incredibly important. Ignoring the signs or assuming symptoms are just part of aging can be a costly mistake. Cancer number 5. Skin cancer, the most preventable cancer. Skin cancer is the most common cancer in the world, yet it's also one of the most preventable. The risk increases significantly after 60, not because of what happens in a single summer, but due to decades of accumulated sun exposure. Even if you've never had a sunburn, the effects of ultraviolet UV radiation build up over time, leading to cellular damage that can eventually turn into cancer. Fair-skinned individuals are at an even higher risk, but no one is completely immune. People who have spent years working outdoors or enjoying outdoor hobbies without consistent sun protection face an increased likelihood of developing skin cancer. The key to catching skin cancer early is recognizing the warning signs. One of the most important tools is the ABCDE rule, which helps identify potentially cancerous moles or spots. A stands for asymmetry. One half of a mole doesn't match the other. B is for border. Irregular, jagged, or blurred edges can be a warning sign. C is for color. Uneven color or multiple shades within the same mole should be checked. D is for diameter. Moles larger than a pencil eraser should be monitored. E is for evolving. Any change in size, shape, color, or sensation, such as itching or bleeding, is a red flag. But not all skin cancers appear as moles. Some show up as sores that don't heal, rough patches of skin, or even new growths that look like warts. Take Linda, a retired gardener. She spent decades tending to her flowers, feeling the warmth of the sun on her back. She always remembered to wear a hat, but she rarely thought about sunscreen. One day, she noticed a small dark spot on her shoulder. It didn't hurt, so she ignored it. Months passed, and the spot slowly grew, but it still didn't seem like a big deal. It wasn't until her daughter insisted she get it checked that Linda finally made an appointment. The diagnosis? Melanoma, an aggressive form of skin cancer that had already started spreading. Linda's story is a reminder that early detection is everything. Unlike some other cancers, skin cancer is often visible, making it easier to catch in its early stages. The key is paying attention. A simple but powerful habit is checking your skin regularly. Once a month, take a few minutes to examine your skin from head to toe, using a mirror if needed. If you notice any new or changing spots, don't wait, see a dermatologist. Sunscreen is another essential tool. Many people believe sunscreen is only necessary on hot, sunny days, but UV rays can penetrate clouds and even reflect off surfaces like water and snow. A broad-spectrum sunscreen with at least SPF 30 should be worn daily, especially on exposed areas like the face, neck, and hands. Annual skin exams by a dermatologist can also be life-saving. These exams help identify cancerous or precancerous spots before they become dangerous. If you've ever had a history of excessive sun exposure or suspicious moles, these checkups are even more critical. Skin cancer is one of the easiest cancers to prevent, yet it still claims lives every year. Taking small steps now, like wearing sunscreen, monitoring your skin, and scheduling checkups, can make all the difference. We've covered 5 of the most common cancers after 60, and if there's one thing we've learned, it's that early detection saves lives. But beyond catching cancer early, what if you could lower your overall risk in the first place? That's where a strong prevention plan comes in. When it comes to cancer prevention, 3 key habits make the biggest difference: regular checkups, a healthy lifestyle, and staying informed. First, regular screenings. Every type of cancer we discussed today has one thing in common: when caught early, treatment is far more effective. That's why routine screenings like colonoscopies, mammograms, skin checks, and PSA tests for prostate cancer are absolutely essential. Even if you feel fine, these tests can catch problems before symptoms appear. If you haven't had your recommended screenings recently, now is the time to schedule them. Second, your lifestyle plays a huge role in cancer prevention. The foods you eat, how often you move, and the habits you maintain all affect your body's ability to fight off disease. A diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains provides antioxidants and essential nutrients that help protect your cells. Limiting processed foods, red meats, and excessive sugar reduces inflammation and lowers cancer risk. Regular exercise, even something as simple as a 30-minute walk each day, keeps your body strong and supports a healthy immune system. Avoiding known carcinogens is just as important. Tobacco use remains the leading cause of preventable cancer deaths, so if you smoke, consider seeking help to quit. Limiting alcohol and reducing exposure to environmental toxins, such as air pollution and harmful chemicals, also makes a difference. And as we discussed, wearing sunscreen daily is one of the easiest ways to prevent skin cancer. Finally, staying informed and proactive is your best defense. Understanding the early warning signs of cancer, knowing your family history, and paying attention to changes in your body can save your life. Many people ignore small symptoms, thinking it's probably nothing. But catching something early, even if it turns out to be harmless, is far better than waiting too long. It all comes down to this: your health is in your hands. The sooner you act, the better your chances of catching cancer early or even preventing it altogether. Every small step you take, whether it's scheduling a screening, making healthier food choices, or simply being aware of changes in your body, adds up to a longer, healthier life. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, share it with someone you love, and subscribe for more life-saving health tips. Stay healthy, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next video.